fam.news.
You might think you know this, but how do you make a great first impression? And what is the power of bundling the sale? The Vice President of Business Development Education at Bedhead Marketing is here. Brent Bierman, more than 20 years of experience in the mattress business. He's about to drop some bombs and gems of wisdom on you. And we're going to tell you where you can see him live. The Sleep Summit is coming up, as you know, and the Fam Podcast starts right now. Hey, are you a mattress retailer looking to supercharge your business? Introducing Podium, your secret weapon. I use it. I'm a huge fan of it. And with Podium's AI-powered lead conversion, you can engage with customers in seconds via text, making it feel like they're talking to a friend. But hey, that's just the beginning. Podium offers texting, payments, reviews, website chat, and more, all in one place. You've got to be the most responsive retailer to help customers solve those sleep problems in the moment. Harness the power of Podium today and start growing your business. Visit podium.com right now to learn more.
Welcome to the Fam Podcast with Mark Kinsley. This is where the best in the bedding business get even better.
Hey fam, welcome to the show. I'm so excited to have my friend Brent I fucked up the whole thing, didn't I? I called you Brent Bierman.
I could tell the story about that.
Hold on a second. Did I say that at the very beginning? And I just said fucked up the whole thing. I've ruined this show.
I think this is how you get it.
You know, hey, shout out to our friend Brent Bierman with Puffy. And maybe the earliest in the show I've ever dropped the F-bomb. So hope you're on your commute with your kids in the back with their earmuffs on. I'm so excited to have my friend Brent Batterman. I should have just called you Pastor Batterman like I always do.
Well, it's too big of a compliment for me, but someday we'll have to have a drink and I'll tell you about Brent Batterman, because I still get made fun of for 20 years of how someone messed my name up, but it's all good.
Butterman. Well, I was just thinking of my buddy over at Puffy, and that's what came out. And, you know, the Brents all got mixed together. Hey, at least I didn't call you Brent Thornton, because that would be not calling Brett Thornton Brett, and you are Brent. But all I know is you're the Butterman, and I got to hear that story at some point.
You'll absolutely hear it.
Well, hey, thanks for being here on the show. I always tell people this is kind of an ongoing joke. I usually don't reveal this, but I didn't say this to you. But so often I'll say to my guests right before we go live, I'll lean forward and I'll say, hey, Brent, don't fuck this up. That's my job. And I need job security right now.
Man, I'll probably be there with you, man. Glad we have an amazing person editing our show.
Oh, we don't do edits. I mean, we do very, very light edits.
I'm
Adrian is the mom of the fam as well. And so she may bleep stuff out. I doubt it though. She knows me too well.
Awesome.
Hey, and I'm getting to know you pretty well these days. We've done a couple of speaking gigs together, and it's been such a joy getting to know you and Erica and hear some of your story. And I hope that you share so much more of that from the main stage at Sleep Summit. And I'm so excited about what you're going to be talking about, because you're a sales training and sales leadership and education machine. Well, first of all, before we go there, talk to people about your history, and you may want to give people your early job title at Mattress Firm.
Well, my early job title was manager on duty. My later one, I still probably can't pronounce it. You know, I've been in the industry for 21 years. And I've been so blessed. And, you know, I could talk for an hour about just, I've had success because people took the time to mentoring and coach me. That is why I'm here and able to do the things that I have. I came out of college in the mattress industry and started this little franchise called Mattress Firm and Steve Stadler's franchise. And I think we had 200 stores and we were able to grow it. I think we ended up like 3,400 stores, and I got a chance to have a front row seat to that entire growth. The first 10 years I was in retail, from store manager, area manager, district manager. In the last 10 to 11 years of my career, I was in the training department, leadership, workshops. I got to travel on a bus for multiple years and hit almost every city that Mattress Firm was part of. I got to be on the part of the team that did all the integrations across the country. Coolest thing I've ever got a chance to do was I got a chance to be every summer on a ranch where 225 people had to interview to be a part of the leadership training. And I think it was about 6 weeks long, 3 days, and then a new group, another 3 days, another group. And it was solid leadership training from 8 in the morning till midnight, those 3 days. And it was a blessing. The amount of amazing people that I met across Mattress Firm Nation is unbelievable. I was so blessed. Matter of fact, I can't prove this, but I feel like this is a true story that when Stagner was the CEO, he's like, saw what I did. He's like, your job is so amazing. I want to do what you do, Brent. Like, what do you do? And I told him, he's like, absolutely, we're going to switch. You're going to be the CEO. I'm going to be what you do. And then he saw his paycheck and my paycheck. He's like, never mind. I'm going to go ahead and do the CEO thing. You keep doing what you're doing. But it was one of the coolest careers I think I could have ever wished for.
That's incredible. And is this ranch outside of San Antonio?
It's actually outside of, it's about an hour. It's in Chapel Hill outside of Houston. It was really cool because as we grew, people all over the country, they had to get their district managers sign off. They had to do an interview. And they would come in and we'd do 25 to 30 people per group. We'd fly them into Houston. We'd show them the new corporate office. Had a nice chance to go out to eat. Some of the vice presidents would come out to eat with us that night before. The next morning, we'd get on a bus and we'd go to the ranch. And they had these like 15 different homes. And it was great. And it was just about leadership and personal development. We didn't talk about mattresses. We didn't talk about coil count. It was all about developing our team.
And I think that goes back to the DNA that founded the company. I remember last year at Sleep Summit, I had a chance to do a fireside chat with Harry Roberts, one of the co-founders of Mattress Firm. And I asked him, what was the inflection point? He said, whenever we started turning people into entrepreneurs instead of employees, everything changed. And it sounds like that continued on because that's what you were doing.
100%. I mean, I think I don't want to speak for all the amazing leaders that went through that. From my perspective, it was we needed a lot of amazing people, and we found amazing people, and then we needed them to grow this organization, do something that's never been done in our space. And the best way to do that was develop them, coach them, and allow them to grow and to make a big impact in the business. And I feel that's what we did. I know there's at least thousands, I should say, but my smaller group that I got a chance to work with, 100 of us really appreciate our careers and all the development, and seeing some of these individuals beyond Mattress Firm and what they're doing in their space, and maybe some of them went outside the industry. There are so many of them are doing such great things. So it's really cool.
What about those two yahoos, Stephen Ferguson and Brandon Bain? What do they do with their lives?
Man, it's such a treat to work with them. I would love to sit here and make fun of Ferguson, but I can't. I love the guy. Him and Brandon are just amazing. What they do, their passion. I get a chance to see them both interact with the customer and in our meetings. And it's one thing that happens all the time. It's like, how can we help this business grow? Because if we help them grow, we will also benefit. We really lead with how can we help them? How can we help them grow their business? And how can we make an impact?
And I'm sure you guys spend a lot of time before the meeting saying, how can Ferg have his shirt unbuttoned that far? Should we button it up maybe just a few, or should we go full Johnny Depp?
I think he goes full Johnny Depp, especially as the evening carries on. For sure.
Oh, that's right. No, I've heard this theory. As the evening carries on, you know where he's at. You know where he's at. Let's just put it that way. We're here on the Fan Podcast with Brent Batterman. I promise that's his name. Brent, it's so great that you're going to be taking the main stage at Sleep Summit 2024. One of the things that I was so excited about is I remember we talked ahead of time. I'm like, you get me fired up whenever I see you speak in person. Not only fired up, but you're really dropping almost like this timeless wisdom, but you're also showing us like where we can go to get better. And so that was sort of the directive, from my chair was, hey guys, the theme is back to the future of sleep. We're going to rewind to what works, and we're going to reimagine the future. So if we rewind to what works, like what are those timeless truths? What are those things that you can share with us that we probably maybe say to ourselves, hey, it worked so well, we stopped doing it. Or you got to execute on this and give a showtime performance every single time and never forget it because it's always going to work. And then maybe give us a taster of the future. But let's start there. Like, what are those things that are never going to change that you wish everybody would just stop and embrace and do?
A lot of times we always talk about how important advertisement is and social media and getting customers coming to the store. I think that is so important. I can't emphasize it enough. But I asked this question, like, okay, so now they come in your store, now what? And I had an opportunity to be in 7 different markets within, I think, 8 or 9 years at this firm. I got a chance to be in big markets, and I also got to be in markets with no advertisement. And I realized quickly that the most important thing is when a customer walks in the store. That front door is the most important thing. And I had about 88 seconds to make a great first impression because I knew if I could make a friend before I tried to make a sale, it just made everything easier and better. And that's something I don't think you can fake. It's simple, it's easy to execute, and a lot of times it's so simple, people overlook it. I love to do this, Mark. I like, hey, grab a pen and paper, and I do this in training. I'm going to give you knowledge. Like today, you can go ahead and implement this today. It's going to be the best training you've ever had. And they're thinking like, this is going to be like, wow, like out of this world material. And I'm like, here it is. Y'all ready? Make a friend before you try to make a sale. And all you have to do is smile. And people put their pencils down like, oh, Brent, that's so simple. That's so easy. Come on. Like, I thought you had something a little bit better than that. But that's what makes it so good. It's so simple. It's so easy to do, but we barely do it. And I mean, some people on this call are listening right now. They go, Brent, I do it all the time and watch. So they'll send me a note. I get a lot of that, and that's okay. I'm glad you do. But most of the time when it comes to retail or restaurants, it doesn't happen. Think about the last time you've been to a retail store or a restaurant. People are like, hello. Or sometimes they don't even say hello. They're just like, how can I help you? Versus like pause and go, I'm going to give this customer the greatest experience they have in retail. I'm going to just try to take care of them. And the easiest way to do that is first, I'm going to try to make a friend before I try to make a sale. There's 2 things you have to do. One, you got to smile. It's easy, but it makes a difference. And if you don't believe me, when a customer walks in, frown. Like it just changes the atmosphere. Smile it, and then try to make a friend before I make a sale, and just do a name exchange. Ask them their name. How are they doing? Pause and take that moment to let them know how amazing you are and you're here to take care of them. It changes the atmosphere, and they're more likely to buy from you if they like you. I could be wrong, but it feels like it's right, Mark.
If that's wrong, I don't want to be right.
I'll be right. That's right. I could talk about that all day, but go ahead.
What do you think stands in the way of somebody? This is going to sound very basic and like elementary, but I want everybody to sort of lean forward a bit. What do you think stands in the way of people smiling?
From my personal experience and getting a chance to work with thousands of people in training over the years, I would say we're 2 or 3 steps ahead. And a lot of times, we'll just talk about the mattress industry. We see 2, 3, maybe 4 customers a day at best. It's been like that in 2000. I hear it's kind of like that today, maybe a little bit less. But we get so focused on because so much of our pay, is part of that customer having a great experience, if you will. And we get caught up like, oh, I got to comfort test them. I got to show them a power base. I got to show them pillows. I also got to make sure I find them the right bed. Is it a Tempur-Pedic? Is it a purple mattress? Like all this stuff, we get caught up. And then we just forget to just pause and say, how are you doing today? I'm so glad you're here. There's another one right there. Just tell them you're glad they're here. I'm glad you're here. And you know what? I'm going to personally take care of you to make sure you have a great experience and I find you the right bed. Like, who doesn't want that? If you're shopping, let's say a car, and someone walks in, you walk into a dealership, Mark, and they smile, like, hey, Mark, how are you doing? I'm Brent. I want to take care of you. First of all, I just want to make sure I take care of you. I find you the right car. I'm going to educate you. I'm going to help you out in any way I can possibly do. I want to make sure you have a great experience. You're not going to be mad, like, hey, I'm out of here. This is not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for someone kind of rude. So it just doesn't make any sense. And I think that is so important. So if you want to talk about what worked back then that still works today, make a friend before you try to make a sale.
I'm going to double red underline that. And it is you're 2 to 3 steps ahead, if not more, of where your customer is when they walk through the door. You're 2 or 3 steps ahead. That is very critical because whenever I think about a lot of interactions, especially from a communication and a listening standpoint and coaching people, whatever you might call it, I think a lot of people aren't listening, they're reloading. And they're not thinking about slowing down to meet somebody where they are and really understand what they're bringing to the table today. Like, hey, tell me what's going on with you today. Like if you just sit there for a minute and like check in on people and like, what's going on with you today? It's going to reveal a lot more information than going through the list. Power base, purple, temper, show the pillow, crab, linen sheets. Do I bundle it? Oh my gosh. Like you're already there. Just meet somebody where they are and care and genuinely ask them what's going on with you. Like, I'm so glad you're here. That's so huge.
Mark, I think it's more important by making a friend before you tell them to make a sale in the first 88 seconds of the sale. What's the name on the building and the beds you have in the store. I think it's that important because put me and you in a store. I don't care. And I love the brands, but it doesn't matter the brands because I am going to give a customer the best experience that they can have shopping for a mattress. And if I can consistently do that, more customers will buy from me than not.
It's going to happen. Did you, so when you were out and about in the world and you were training like thousands of people, did you come to certain markets and like see transformation with individuals or key teams and who are like, yeah, we actually did what Brent said and he was right. And these were the results. I have
been blessed by working with some of the most amazing people out in the sales floor for years. I don't answer for them, but yes is the answer. Just some of the emails, we call them affirmations, and the follow-up that I received was all the pay I ever needed in the world because that gave me the energy to keep doing what I do. We're going 150 days a year on the road was tough, but knowing that I can make an impact and help somebody, buy their first house, help their kids go to school because of their paycheck, made all the difference in the world. So the answer is absolutely yes. And I think some of what worked, it was they could use it today to make that immediate impact. And once we got those easy wins, then they're like, okay, what else can we learn in the workshop?
That's huge. What can I use today? Well, and this is one of the things I was thinking about whenever we've been, talking about the stem winder you're going to give at Sleep Summit 2024. If you're not signed up, sign up. It's happening October 8th through the 11th. Don't miss it. Please don't, because he's going to take you through 6 of these key things. We're only giving you a couple today. So you're going to want to experience it in person. But one of the other things you said that was in terms of making an impact, make a friend before you make a sale, and creating that great first impression. You also talked about this idea of bundling the sale. Give us a little. Don't give away too much because I want people to come to Summit. Give us something.
They need to come to Summit because it's going to be fantastic. There's going to be a great event. But yeah, so there's a couple parts. I mean, we're going to probably talk about this portion of it. I don't want to panic you, Mark, but we're probably going to talk about this portion for at least 15 minutes. So you're like, how can we talk about that for 15 minutes? Well, there's multiple layers within that topic. And the first thing when you talk about bundling, I'm going to say first we got to sell the sale. And when you talk about selling the sale, that really is just letting the customer know they came at the right time. And again, it goes back to, if you don't think it works, next customer that walks in your store, tell them the biggest sale of the year is over and everything is full price. There's no sale in your store right now. And see how long they stay in your store. They're gone. I mean, they're like, sorry, I'll see you later. Like, nobody walks in and be like, I'm here because you don't have a sale. Like, I don't want to save any money today. Nobody says that. So a part of it is just letting the customer know they came at a great time and talk to them about a little bit about the event that you have going on. The easiest one to talk about, we just happened with the Labor Day sale. You came in a great time. It's the biggest sale of the year. So Labor Day sale, you came in unbelievable time. We have amazing savings. So glad you're here. Simple, short, easy. I don't have to tell the whole story. I can layer that in throughout the entire presentation.
You came at the best time of the year. It's the best time ever in the history of mankind to buy a mattress right now.
Absolutely.
You know what? In honor of that, I'm gonna have a sale right now. I'm calling it the bedhead sale.
Yes.
All right. So look at your
That's
screen.
what I'm talking about.
If you're watching on YouTube, you can see it right now. Save 15% right now with the code BEDHEAD. Type it in all caps like you're yelling. Save 15% because we're having the greatest sale of all time on Sleep Summit right now. There's never been a better time to buy a ticket, and we're so excited here. I'm glad you're here, Brent.
Glad to be here. And I really do. So like, if you're somebody like, if I was a franchise owner, if I was a vice president of a regional retail, I'd want to be at Sleep Summit because I've seen the lineup and I saw the material, and I'm not trying to give you a whole bunch of plugs, but I'm just telling you, like, I would want to be there because the nuggets that will be shared, they can use for the next 10 months and make immediate impact to the business. The value is unbelievable.
And one of the things we're trying to do, I'm always trying to advance things and use technology. You're going to be able to be in the audience. And if you got a VIP ticket, you can always go back and watch any of the videos for up to a year. But I'm super excited about something that the production company we're working with has never done. And I went to them and I said, if you guys can help me pull this off, you're going to have a product that you can sell. I'm going to help you make money in the future. And what we're going to do is we're going to transcribe every speech in real time, and we're going to feed it into basically a GPT style model that we've pre-tuned, and it's going to spit out summaries, outlines, action items, all kinds of information, almost like summarizing it into an article you can take back to your team. So when you're at Sleep Summit, you're going to walk away with this booklet that is a capture of Sleep Summit. And then the phase 2 is going to be we're going to take all that, and we're going to turn it into a chatbot page. So you can go back and you can chat with the entire summit. So, which I think is super cool, because now, you can be super present. You can listen to people. You can be engaged. And we got the notes for you, man. We're going to handle it.
That's so to the future. We're going back to the future, but this is like, Back to the Future 2. Like, we're going into the future with that stuff. That is amazing. I love that.
Yeah, I'm super excited about it because, we want to sort of, eat our own cooking. Like, if we're going to talk about the future and try to advance an industry, I want to do things within our domain to try and be a little bit forward thinking and use the technology at our hands, but also, use it in a way that I feel really passionate about, which is being more present. And so we're hoping that we can, give people some great information. But, if your brain clicks off a few times and you need a refresher, we got your back. Your fam's here for you.
Oh, that's awesome. Mark, you asked the question. I kind of went back, and I'm going to go to the future here with that. No pun intended, is bundling. And I'm going to ask this simple question, and we're going to talk a little bit more about this at the Sleep Summit, is when you're working with a guest, is it easier for you to get a commitment for them to buy one item, or let's say 5 items? What's easier? Get one yes or 5?
I'm going to go easier to get 1 yes than 5 yeses.
100%. And I know you kind of pause there, and I don't want to, make up stuff, but it feels like you're right. Is that a trick question? It's not a trick question. It's easier to get 1 yes versus 5. But in our industry, in most buying processes, it's like, okay, sell the mattress. Okay, sell the frame or power base. Sell the pillows. Sell the mattress protector. Sell the warranty. Sell the delivery. Like, eventually that guest is like, whoa, hey, I don't need all that. And I think you take a little bit away from the guest experience. We don't mean to. We know those things are so important when you talk about the sleep system. I say bundle it all and just go for 1 yes and say, here's your entire sleep system. Will this work for you? And it makes it easier. It lets them know that all comes together, and they're going to get a better sleep because they're buying the entire sleep system versus, and I know people have used this in the past, but you don't buy your car and put the old tires on. You kind of buy the whole car. You buy the whole sleep system. It's meant to go together. And if you think about the sheets and the pillows, how much advancement they've had, including the mattress, it's worth it. So that's one of the things we're going to talk about. And I'm going to have the Sleep Summit easily lay it out how you can take that and bring it back to your sales team and immediately implement it into your process and not take away what they're currently doing.
I would say, and again, I don't want to like use hyperbole here, but if I were going to think of the one thing I know for sure that people can walk away with from Sleep Summit and immediately make exponentially more money, what you're going to take them into around bundling and how you actually do that. He gave you a little taster of it, but how you do it and how simple it actually is, and you're going to be able to take this back to your team and train them on it very easily, it will increase your average tickets. It will make your customers happier. It will make more effective salespeople, and it's going to dramatically increase your revenue. I've seen
you can do it in less than 30 seconds.
What's that?
Sorry, and you can do this in less than 30 seconds after going through the training. It doesn't take an hour. It's 30 seconds. So we're definitely doing some teasers there.
Oh, man, I love it. Well, I'm so excited you're going to be on the main stage at Sleep Summit. Thank you for just bringing the passion. People maybe heard me say this in the past, but I call you Pastor Batterman. So I can't wait to see you up there behind that pulpit, man, preaching this good stuff that we have out here. We are in the most important industry in the world. People spend more time in their lives on this single object than any other. And I just am so jazzed up that we get to advance the purpose behind what we do, and that you're part of that. You're a huge part of it. And I know people love you in this industry. So grab your tickets, come see Brent Batterman, not Brent Bierman. Oh, maybe Brent Bierman is going to be there. Brent, you're invited.
Never know. Hey, Mark, we can edit this out, but just to let you know, I spent quite a bit of time giving because you've seen a little bit of my material. I have 4 minutes of a secret or an extra, if you will, on coaching and mentoring your team that I'm going to add to my presentation. It's going to flow. It's going to be fantastic. So if people are interested in coaching and mentoring their team, they're going to want to be there. They're not going to miss this.
Oh, and you're saving this for the stage.
I'm saving it for you on the stage. Like you have no idea it's coming. I've been working on it. It started out to be 30 minutes. I just got nailed down to 4 minutes. So I don't overtake my time, but I'm really excited to speak to it.
Well, I can't wait. And thank you so much for being part of the second annual Sleep Summit. Grab your ticket, sleepsummit.thefam.com. And you can always get connected with Mr. Brent Batterman on LinkedIn, get connected with Bedhead and Brandon Bain and Stephen Ferguson and the entire crew. Anna Hermosillo doing amazing work in this industry. Big smiles, lots of energy. I just love your positivity, and I love everything you're doing. Hey, man, thanks for being here. And any final thoughts you want to share with us?
It's more just gratitude. Thank you so much for you having me on the show, Mark. And again, I always have to tell everyone in the mattress industry, thank you so much for everything. I met such amazing people, and I just want to tell you all hi, hello. I hope everything's going well, and look forward to seeing y'all soon.
All right, my friend, appreciate it. Share this with one of your friends, and we look forward to hopefully seeing you in person in beautiful Bentonville, Arkansas.